Primitive people sitting in total darkness. The night is freezing, and you can hear predators moving just beyond the trees. No light, no warmth, just fear. Now, imagine seeing it for the first time: fire. A flash of lightning strikes a tree. The forest explodes into light. And somewhere, deep in the shadows, one of our ancestors watches, terrified and amazed. That moment, that first spark, changed everything. At first, fire was chaos. It destroyed trees, scared animals, and burned anything it touched. But for the first humans, fear slowly turned into curiosity. They began to realize this wild, dangerous thing could also keep them alive. Some anthropologists believe humans first used natural fires, collecting burning branches after a storm. Others think early humans followed lava flows or forest fires, waiting until it was safe to grab a piece. Whatever the case, the day someone carried fire home was the day humanity stepped out of the darkness, literally. Fire was more than warmth. It was protection, a barrier against beasts. It was light, a weapon against the night. And maybe most importantly, it was food. Cooking meat changed human evolution. Fire made it possible to survive in colder climates, move farther, and build stronger communities. In a way, fire was the first social network, the first time humans sat down and connected. But keeping fire wasn't enough. What if it rained? What if it went out? You couldn't just wait for lightning every time. So humans learned to make it themselves. The earliest known fire-making tools, flint stones, friction sticks, date back hundreds of thousands of years. People would strike stones to create sparks or spin wooden shafts to create heat. The skill was so precious that entire tribes might depend on one firekeeper, the person who carried the flame across lands. Imagine that, one person walking for miles, holding a small, glowing ember wrapped in bark, literally carrying the future of their people. Thousands of years, fire became the foundation of human progress. It helped craft stone tools, bake pottery, smelt metal, and forge weapons. It transformed humans from hunters into builders, and eventually into the architects of civilization. Without fire, there would be no cooking, no metalwork, no engines, no cities, not even the screen you're watching this video on. But fire also taught us respect, because the same flame that cooked our food could burn down everything we built. Every culture learned that lesson. Some turned it into myths, gods, or spirits of flame. Prometheus stealing fire from the gods. Every civilization remembered that fire was a gift and a danger. Even now, fire is part of who we are. When we light a candle, stare into a campfire, or watch the glow of a sunset, we feel something ancient. Fire didn't just warm our bodies, it lit our minds. The moment we held the flame, we became something new. Snow, wind, herds of mammoths in the distance. 50,000 ago, the world wasn't ours alone. It was shared by different kinds of humans, tribes that looked almost like us, thought like us, and dreamed like us. But they weren't us. Back then, the Earth was home to Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, Denisovans, Homo floresiensis, and maybe even others we haven't discovered yet. Imagine a world where you could meet another human who wasn't quite human. Let's start with Neanderthals. They were shorter, stronger, and built for survival. Living in Europe's frozen wilderness, they crafted tools from stone and bone, hunted massive animals, and cared for their sick. They even buried their dead, something once thought unique to us. Meanwhile, far to the east, another group was thriving, the Denisovans. And then, on the island of Flores in Indonesia, lived Homo floresiensis, the hobbits. They stood barely over a meter tall, yet used tools and hunted small animals. Proof that intelligence wasn't about size, but adaptation. For tens of thousands of years, these species coexisted, sometimes isolated, sometimes crossing paths. And when they did, the encounters weren't always peaceful or predictable. We know now that Homo sapiens and Neanderthals met, fought, traded, and yes, interbred. The proof is in our DNA, but something happened. Between 50,000 and 30,000 years ago, one by one, the other tribes disappeared. Neanderthals vanished from Europe. Denisovans faded from Asia. The hobbits of Flores went extinct. Only Homo sapiens remained. Why? Scientists still debate it. Some say we were simply better adapted, faster, more creative, more cooperative. Others think climate change wiped out their food sources. And some believe we caused it through competition, or worse. Maybe it wasn't strength that made us last, but imagination. We painted, carved, made jewelry, created symbols, evidence of abstract thought. That might have given us the edge, the ability to plan, communicate, and form larger, united groups. In the end, it wasn't muscle that conquered the world. It was the mind. Even after their extinction, the lost tribes never truly disappeared. Their DNA became part of us, a living memory passed through time. The Neanderthals survived ice ages we couldn't imagine. The Denisovans thrived in freezing mountains where modern humans would struggle to breathe. And the hobbits of Flores adapted to island life better than we ever could. They weren't our mistakes, they were our beginnings. Humanity was never one story. It was a library of stories written by many tribes, in many voices, across the earth. When the others faded, Homo sapiens became the last human species on the planet. We spread across continents, built civilizations, and reached for the stars. But deep down, we carry their echoes. Their courage, their instincts, their fears, and maybe even their dreams.